What's up, guys? It's Batboy here, and I am doing a new series, and I'm going to be reviewing Marvel Avengers today. And yeah, so I've played like 20 hours of the game. My Hulk is a high level because I'm saving Tony for later, and Tony's my favorite, just to let you know. So sorry that there's only Hulk gameplay and stuff, and there's a little bit of Kamala gameplay, but other than that, not really anything else. Well, Miss Marvel, whatever you want to call her. But first thing we'll be getting into is story. I'm not gonna get too much into the story, but what I will say is, Avengers break up. Miss Marvel brings them back together. Turns out Cap's not dead. There's some girl who just was experimenting on MODOK, and she was giving him Captain America's blood or whatever, something like that. It's just very generic. They just band together to stop the big enemy. MODOK didn't. All his plan was to kill every person with powers or anyone who used like suits like Iron Man or something like that. So yeah, that's all that really happens there. And it's just like really just a generic story. It feels less about the Avengers and more about Kamala and Bruce's relationship, and Hulk's. It really just feels like that, but you know, it's a good story. It's a good story, generic but a good story. But yeah, there's nothing much to really say in it. If you played it or seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're looking for a long individual summary on each character, then probably not in the right place, because I played a lot of two characters. Alright, so let me get into Hulk. Hulk, I have the most hours spent on him. I'm saving Tony Stark, just to let you guys know. But Hulk, he's actually really fun to play as. I'd say he is really destructive, as you can see. He's literally like demolishing like these big robots and stuff, and he is just really powerful. You feel like the Hulk. Now, criticism I do have with him is I don't like how he can get stunned so easily by enemies. Like, if you have two enemies in your hand or an enemy in your hand, like, so you can pick them up, if anyone hits you, you drop them. You can't take one hit whatsoever, which really does bother me, but it's okay, because he is the most powerful on the team, as you can clearly see. I'd say he really just, if you're in a boss fight, he really carries the team. Like, there's like been a few times where we were in a boss fight. I was in a boss fight with some people, and everyone got downed, and it was up to me. Even though I was getting hit by the boss and stuff, I was still out there saving my team and fighting the boss at the same time. So like, Hulk, he's just like a really good teammate and everything. Now Tony Stark, Iron Man, he's more of an aerial type character. He can really keep people out of the air. He can fight on the ground. Like, he can fight a few enemies on the ground, but if he gets swarmed like the Hulk, it's just not really good for him. You'll go down pretty fast if you do that. And unless you pull out his Hulk Buster suit, which is a really good ability. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, it's a good ability, and point is, yeah, he's just an aerial character. I'm not gonna get too much into it. And for Black Widow, she's just fast paced. She takes down an enemy quickly, then goes on to the next. If you get surrounded, like same thing for Iron Man, you will die. It's just, if you get surrounded by too many enemies, you just gotta stay mobile with her, and she takes a lot of damage. If you don't take any damage with her for a long time while you're attacking, her damage goes up higher and higher. It's just like a really good move. And yeah, she has like a grapple hook. She can zip to enemies. She can do like a takedown basically it's like a parry with your grapple hook. If you grapple hook an enemy while they're about to attack you, as long as it's blue or yellow, if that makes sense. Like, if there's a indicator that's blue or yellow, then you can take them down. Yeah, she's just really quick. She she plays like really fast is the point. And then Captain America, he can take on a lot of people like Hulk. Like he's a tank too. He can block almost. He can block all projectile attacks. He can block a majority of melee attacks, and he's just good. Like he can hit a bunch of enemies at once because you can bounce your shield off multiple enemies. Like if you upgrade your cap enough, like there's an ability where you can reflect it 8 times and it does a lot of damage and stuff. And Thor, he's he's just Thor. His hammer is really useful. If you played God of War, you know how to play him already. I'm not gonna get too much into him either, but there's one cool thing: only worthy people can hold his hammer, and if you throw your hammer at someone, it will be sitting on their chest and they can't move or get up while you can just be punching them while they're down. And it's like that's really useful for when you're getting attacked by too many people. You can have one go down while you're fist fighting everyone else. It's just really good. It's a good it just feels like Kratos with thunder. And Miss Marvel, she's just stretchy. That's it. Like I don't really know how to explain her much. Like she does what you expect. She's keeps enemies away from her, but does a lot of damage at the same time. She can hit a bunch. She can at least hit like 3 enemies at a time. Sorry for my phone. She can hit like 3 enemies at a time with one punch. It's just like really good. Like she's also like the healer. She has like 1 healing ability, which is really cool. And there's not really much saying about that, other than I really like all the characters. They're all unique in their own way. This is dragging on too long. I just want to let you guys know all the characters are good. All of them are good. Alright. What I will say is instantly is the War Robot is not a good boss at all. All you have to do is destroy the vents, as you can see, and it doesn't really attack all that much. It's the turrets, and once you destroy all the turrets, it can't defend against you. Sometimes it'll like try to stomp on you, but you can just get out of the way because it gives you like so long to get out of the way, and it's just not a good boss to me at all. And alright, so Abomination and Taskmaster, they're really good bosses in the story mode. Like I really like them. Like Taskmaster, you have to beat Black Widow and dodge his punches and do a bunch of like crazy stuff. Like it's really cool. And Abomination, it's just him versus Hulk. Just basically, most people know how that fight pretty much goes. They just like duke it out in like a superpower brawl and everything. It's just really cool. But like when you fight them for a second time with your team, they're a lot stronger. They have a lot more health. And they don't really have an execution. I didn't fight Taskmaster, but I know how. Like I've seen people fight him with their team, and it doesn't look that fun. Like if you have Hulk on your team, I feel like you just demolish him and stuff. But fighting Abomination as Hulk is fun. Like with your team, even though like the bosses with your team aren't really all that amazing, but it's just more of like a button mashing thing. It's just alright. They're not amazing or anything. The War Robot is the least, the one I like the least. And yeah, and there's this one where it's in the air and it's kind of like the War Bot, but it's in the air, so if you fall off, you have to bounce back up and get it. And I like that one. I don't like the one on the ground because he doesn't do anything. With the airplane version of it, it obviously flies in the air and no one can really, like if you fall off, a bunch of enemies will be on you and you have to fight them off or try to get back onto it before you get beat up and everything. And MODOK, his boss battle was the most different one. I really liked that one. That's probably my favorite boss fight in the game. My favorite boss fight for like story was definitely Abomination, because I love when Hulk and Abomination duke it out and everything. I heard Red Hulk was gonna be added. That's the point. Excuse me. But yeah, it's just they're just really just like beat 'em up. So all you have to do is like punch them after you fight the cooler version of them and stuff. It's just really, it's fun, but it's not like amazing. So they're just basically easy, just punch until you win bosses after you beat the main story. And the enemies, there's not that many, so the most different ones are the shield ones. They really are a hassle. They're really like a nuisance, like they're a bother, because you have to keep on trying to destroy their shield every time they bring it back up, and it's just like just really hard, because like even with Hulk, like if an enemy punches you while you're trying to break their shield, which you have to hold triangle to break their shield, and you do like a big smash attack and it breaks their shield, and it's just really hard, because if any enemy interrupts you, you have to redo it over again, and they're probably my favorite thing to fight. And there is abilities that you can get in the future that will where you can just like kind of like be in the air and destroy their shield so no one can hit you or anything like that. It's just there's not many enemies in the game, which there will be in the future, but I'm talking about the base game. I'm not, yeah, it's just not many enemy types, and yeah, that's all I have to say about the enemies. It's just not really all that amazing. There's air enemies, there's enemies with rockets, there's like big buff enemies like the Hulk, like in giant mechs or whatever. They're as big as the Hulk. There's like little spider. There's like the mechs that you see me smash with Hulk, like the War Robot. They're a smaller version of the War Robot. It's just all just like a few enemies. It's a handful of enemies, and it's just like once you know how to beat them, they're not a problem. So yeah, yeah, that's it for the enemies. All right, I'm gonna give my score, but what I'm gonna say is I really like this game. It's really fun. I highly recommend it. But I would say don't get it yet. I'd say at least wait about a year when more content comes out, because the whole problem I have with this game is not the story or anything, not the gameplay. It's the lack of content right now. There's not really many bosses. There aren't any variants. They're going to be adding a lot more characters, and a lot of them got leaked. I won't say who, but there's a bunch of new bosses coming apparently, and there's a bunch of new characters to play apparently. And this is not really a spoiler or not a leak or anything, but Kate Bishop, which is Hawkeye's sidekick, and Hawkeye and Spider-Man are coming out very soon apparently. So yeah, my overall score is like, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 just for the base game for now. Alright, that's also the end of this video. Not gonna lie, I kind of just threw this video together to just try out something new, you know, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I just tried something new, like I said. That's all I was trying to do. But if you did, leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want, dislike if you want, just do whatever you want, you know. But I will be doing this in the future, but it'll be higher quality. Like I'll try to make it higher quality. I just kind of threw this one together. I didn't have much footage on this game because I wasn't planning on making this video with this game. I plan on doing Last of Us 2 though, even though that game's is 2 months old now, but I'll still do it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see ya.